Step by step, that's how we'll get through this. One foot in front of the other. We've already finished up one tape, both sides, so stick with me. Things get better, or worse, depending on your point of view. I know it may sound like it, but I wasn't completely alone the beginning of my freshman year. Two other freshmen, both featured here on Hannah Baker's Greatest Hits, were also new to the area. Alex Standel and Jessica Davis. And while we never became close friends, we did rely on each other those first few weeks of school. With 1 week left of summer vacation, Miss Antilli called me at home to see if I'd meet her at school. A little new student orientation, she said. If she had told me the real purpose of our get-together was for me to meet a new student, I wouldn't have gone. I mean, what if we had nothing in common? Or what if I thought we had nothing in common, but she, the other student, thought we did? Or what if the opposite happened and I thought we could become friends and she didn't? So many things could have gone so horribly wrong. But the other girl was Jessica Davis, and she didn't want to be there any more than I did. We both expected Miss Antilli to spew a bunch of psychobabble at us. What it means, what it takes to be a great student, how this school is made up of the best and the brightest in the state, how everyone is given the same opportunities to succeed if they're willing to try. But instead, she gave each of us a buddy. The moment Miss Antilli told us why we were there, Jessica and I turned to each other. Her lips parted as if she wanted to say something, but what could she say with me sitting right there? She felt blindsided, confused, lied to. I knew that's how she felt because I felt the same way. And here, to the best of my memory, is what we said. Me. I'm sorry, Miss Antilli, I just don't think that's why you called me in here. Jessica, me neither. I wouldn't have come. I mean, I'm sure Hillary and I have things in common, and I'm sure she's a great person, but me. It's Hannah. Jessica, I called you Hillary, didn't I? Sorry. Me, it's okay, I just thought you should know my name if we're going to be such fabulous friends. And then the three of us laughed. Jessica and I had very similar laughs, which made us laugh even harder. Miss Antilli's laugh wasn't quite as heartfelt, more of a nervous laugh, but still a laugh. She claimed to have never tried matching up friends before, and was doubtful she ever would again. But guess what? After the meeting, Jessica and I did hang out. Very sneaky, Miss Antilli, very sneaky. We left campus, and at first the conversation felt awkward, but it was nice having someone to talk to other than my parents. We walked past my turn-off, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to stop our conversation, but I also didn't want to invite her inside because we really didn't know each other yet. So we continued walking until we reached downtown. I found out later that she did the same thing. Walked past the street where she lived in order to keep talking with me. We ended up at Monet's Garden Cafe and Coffee House. Neither of us were coffee drinkers, but it seemed like a nice place to chat. I honestly don't remember much of what we said that afternoon. Do you, Jessica? Because when I close my eyes, everything happens in a kind of montage. Laughing, trying not to spill our drinks, waving our hands while we talk. Then, at one point, you lean across the table. I think that guy's checking you out, you whispered. I knew exactly who you were talking about because I'd been watching him as well, but he wasn't checking me out. He's checking you out, I said. In a contest of who's got the biggest balls, all of you listening should know that Jessica wins. Excuse me, she said to Alex, in case you haven't figured out the name of the mystery man. But which one of us were you checking out? Alex blushed. I'm talking in all the blood in his body rushing up to his face kind of blushed. And when he opened his mouth to deny it, Jessica cut him off. Don't lie, which one of us were you checking out? At that moment, I would have paid dearly for Jessica's friendship. She was the most outgoing, honest, tell-it-like-it-is girl I'd ever met. Silently, I thanked Miss Antilli for introducing us. Alex stuttered and Jessica leaned over, letting her fingers fall gracefully on his table. Look, we saw you watching us, she said. We're both new to this town and we like to know who you were staring at. It's important. Alex stammered. I'm new here too. I think Jessica and I both said something along the lines of, oh, and then it was our turn to blush. Poor Alex just wanted to be a part of our conversation. So we let him. And I think we talked for at least another hour, probably more. Just 3 people, happy that the first day of school wouldn't be spent wandering the halls alone, or eating lunch alone, getting lost alone. That afternoon at Monet's was a relief for all 3 of us. How many nights had I fallen asleep, terrified, thinking of the first day of school? Too many. And afterwards, none. And just so you know, I never thought of Jessica or Alex as friends. Not even at the beginning when I would have loved 2 automatic friendships. And I know they felt the same way, because we talked about it. We talked about our past friends and why those people had become our friends. We talked about what we were searching for in new friends at our new school. But those first few weeks, until we peeled away, Monet's garden was our safe haven. If one of us had a hard time fitting in or meeting people, we'd go to Monet's, back in the garden, at the far table to the right. I'm not sure who started it, but whoever had the most exhausting day would lay a hand in the center of the table and say, "Ollie, ollie, oxen free." The other 2 would lay their hands on top and lean in. Then we'd listen, sipping drinks with our free hands. Yes, we were cheesy, and I'm sorry if this episode's making you sick. If it helps, it's almost too sweet for me. But Monet's truly filled whatever void needed filling at the time, for all of us. But don't worry, it didn't last. The first to drop out was Alex. We were friendly when we saw each other in the halls, but it never went beyond that. At least, with me it didn't. Now down to the 2 of us, Jessica and me, the whole thing changed pretty fast. The talks became chit-chat and not much more. Then Jessica stopped going. And though I went to Monet's a few more times, hoping one of them might wander in, eventually I stopped going, too. See, the cool thing about Jessica's story is that so much of it happens in one spot. Yes, I met Jessica for the first time in Miss Antilles' office, but we got to know each other at Monet's. And we got to know Alex at Monet's. And then this happened.